All right. As I said, Ola is responsible for taking care of this amazing conference. So we decided to pre-record her presentation. So right now you'll be able to hear her. Later we'll try to connect with her just to check on her and to see how everything goes. Right now, presentation by Aleksandra Pietrak.
Hi everyone! I hope that you are enjoying our Spark of Change conference. I have to tell you something. This speech was pre-recorded because right now, when you are watching me here, I'm on the backstage of the first stage technology as a director. So you can let me know if you are watching us here or there, and I will try to make a quick look on the conference chat. And of course, if you would like in the future consult with me things like directing or how to organize your own online event, please contact me after the end of the conference. But now, let's go to the point. So, when I'm thinking about being a director of a virtual event, I always think, how should it look at the very end, when people are watching us? And what steps should I take to make it happen? And because before I started dealing with virtual world, I was a project manager of many kinds of online, let's say, traditional events, I'm always wondering how can I put a bit of splendor, this special feeling from traditional event to online. And the second thought is what steps should I take, what things should I do with me when it comes to my own works and with my team. And I suppose that today among our audience there is many people who have the same problem, the same thoughts like I have, like I had at the very beginning. Especially if you just started on organizing online galas conferences. But don't worry, at the beginning, like I said, I also had no idea how to start. And during this presentation, I would like to share with you my experiences from the point of view of managing online events. And at the end, I would like to tell you why it is very important for me to constantly sharing my doubts, my feelings with my team and looking for solutions together. And the first step. So, analyze what tasks are ahead of you. So, take time to learn about your client's needs, the purpose of the event. Think about that, what will work and what is unnecessary. Make a good brainstorm. And even if you are very busy, try to find time to consult as many things as possible with people who can bring value to your event. And that is connected with the second recommendation, which is of course, create a team. Here, I would like to introduce Spark of Change team, because thanks to these people, we can meet today during this conference and share our experience, our feelings about online world, virtual world. You know, online is the same, but on the other hand, it is much more difficult, especially right now, because you often have to manage events with people that you can't meet in person. And then, when you have a team, you should discuss your ideas with them and ask for their ideas. But when I talk about the team, I mean also subcontractors, such as camera operators, sound, multimedia producers, for example, player and platform providers, scene language interpreters, and many others. Because a good project manager thinks at the very beginning what she or he will need. And now we can go to scenario of the event. Well, some people in my agency may say that I'm boring when it comes to the scenarios. Why? Because I always say that scenario is for me a basis for any another move. And even if I don't start from writing it, from the very beginning I have it in my mind, I'm analyzing and changing it. And as soon as possible, I transfer my thoughts to, let's say, electronic paper. Because for me, carefully prepared scenario is like a plan that we have to stick to it. It shows every step, every move of cameras, all needs when it comes to sound, microphones, every single important thing that event host should say during the event. And please remember that scenario is not the agenda. It is much more complex, much more detailed. What is also important, scenario should be clear not only for you, but also for your client, for event host, for your technical crew. And another step is, of course, prepare your event host. Because in my opinion, well-prepared event host is like a business card of the event. That's why I attach a great importance to cooperation with hosts of all of my events. I never leave to the last moment things such as sending them scenario, relevant texts that our clients want to be told during the event, dress requirements. I also often consult with them the entire scenario of the event. And of course, they always take part in general rehearsals, during which I always try to listen to their tips. Very good advices arising from their stage experience. Another step is prepare your technical crew. A briefing with technical crew, along with discussion of entire scenario, is also a very important part of the preparations. And before I start rehearsals with my clients, with event hosts, I always try to find the time to discuss the entire course of the event with them. All critical elements, all milestones of the event. I also try to be open to their ideas, suggestions, and even critical remarks regarding my ideas. That's because I think that thanks to this, we learn from each other, which is very important in this work. Speakers. So, we should also prepare our speakers. Because speakers are a key element of the event. We must remember that even the most interesting speech, disturbing by technical problems, will not be successful. So it is very important to give speakers the right amount of time and attention. Conduct with them remote connections tests from their homes or offices or on-stage rehearsals. Present them all technical aspects and solutions used during their speeches. Share with them practical tips how to prepare for their speeches, such as outfit, presentation design, and much more. For example, some time ago, our team has prepared a special guide for speakers, which is very useful and quite universal for all online events. And yes, another thing is technical rehearsal. Before I start rehearsals with my clients, I always also try to find the time only for my technical crew. It is time for me and for them to prepare and verify everything. For example, multimedia materials, light and sound, and discuss the course of the event, and find every single thing that we have to still implement. During these rehearsals, we also test all interactions with audience that we would like to show and implement during our event. For example, some contests. And you know, thanks to such preparations, when my client comes to the general rehearsal, I'm ready to show him or her the entire event. So Let's imagine that we are almost ready, yes? Everybody knows their tasks, everything is planned. It seems that we can actually organize our event right now. But then general rehearsal comes. And each of the elements that I mentioned before is very important. But this last rehearsal simply shows what I forgot about. And believe me, it happens to everyone. So, firstly, the general rehearsal should be scheduled in advance, at least few hours before the event, but if it is possible, the day before event. Because thanks to this, we still have time to react for any unexpected things. Secondly, all key people, such as our client, of course, event host, technical crew, should be present during this rehearsal. And for our clients, it is the last moment to change anything in the scenario. Because another very important thing, after the general rehearsal, especially in case of virtual events, we shouldn't make any significant changes in the entire course of the scenario of the event. We shouldn't change anything that may result in technical problems. And what is also important is communication during the rehearsal. Because every suggestion, every single change should be consulted with the director. Director is responsible for the scenario, for the course of the event. He or she, I can honestly say, knows scenario by heart. When we are live, director is a person who decides what our audience will see at the end. And that brings us to the end. So, what should we do during the event? So, let's imagine that there comes the moment that everybody was been waiting for. I announced to my team 5 minutes to start. Last makeup corrections, we have already streamed the board with a countdown timer. Audience gathering in front of their computers. And 3, 2, 1, we are going live. I'm always counting down these words to the event host. And it may seem that anything can happen now. And we have no influence what will happen. But believe me, it's not true. Even the best prepared scenario and hundreds of rehearsals can't predict certain situations. And that's why I think that directors should be 200% focused. But on the other hand, directors should react very quickly in any situation. Let's imagine, what if one of our speakers has a connection problem with the internet? Or maybe somebody misses the recording studio at the very last minute? Or how to fill the gap when this point of the agenda ends too early? Or how to speed up if you are too late? These are just a few examples for which we should always keep plan B in our minds. So, my first advice, stay calm, stay ahead of the agenda. Very important thing. I believe that every single decision that I make shouldn't disturb work of the technical crew, event hosts' work. But at the same time, we never should show the audience that something is wrong. It is also very useful to have a second director, a right-hand man, who will react when you need to focus on something completely different. But the most important thing, have fun with that. For me, directing from the very beginning was a great fun, great experience, great lesson, and I really like doing it. In fact, the first event that I managed, that I prepared, and when I was a director, it was Spark of Change 1, the first edition of our event. And that's why it is amazing. I am very happy that today I can be with you during the second edition of this event. So I wish all current and future directors many successes in your work. And like I said at the very beginning, if you would like to talk about organization of your own virtual events, directing, please contact me. You can write me an email. And I would like to thank you for your attention, and I wish you great time during our conference. Bye bye.
Oh my dear. How to achieve a wow effect in the world of online events. Basically,
Like this?
streamline. There it is. There's the wow effect. Hi, good evening, Ola. Oleńko.
Hi.
I'm going to greet Ola in Polish. Dobry wieczór, Oleńko. Good to see you. So how's the conference? Let me just ask you.
I think it's quite good. I hope so. And I'm afraid that we have less than 2 minutes before the next part of the agenda on the first stage. And
Not on my watch. Not on my watch, my love. Not on my watch.
Let's make a quick look on my guys here. Guys, say hello. Okay, they are quite shy, I think.
This is true power behind the scenes, basically. These are the people responsible for us looking good and for us feeling good.
Yes.
Oleńko, we had a chance to meet for the first time 3 years ago. How do you think the event industry changed?
Well, from my point of view, we know much more. Our knowledge is much more bigger than 3 years ago. And when I think about it, I'm very happy that I started my adventure with the events a few years ago, because I think that we can do much more in the future. So I hope we will be able to do it together.
This is only the second edition. Let's hope and pray there are more to come. Guys, feel free to write words for Ola. If I don't read it right now, because we may not have enough time, I will definitely make sure she'll receive those words from you later. Oleńko, how many people signed in to be participants of this conference?
1,000, about 1,000 people, from all around the world. Quite a lot.
This is impressive. This is quite a big crowd. Hello, all of you. I'm absolutely aware that you're not all watching my little tiny conference stage number 3, but I do hope that you're watching either stage number 1, 2, or 3. Oleńko, I'm not going to keep you. Ola Pietrak, I'm not going to keep you because I'm absolutely aware. You have to go. I'm absolutely aware of the fact that you have so many things on your shoulders. Keep up the good work. Thank you very, very much once.
Thank you very
again.
much. Thank you. Bye.